think when it comes to the wedding diet, it's like all other diets where it's really short-term and short-lived, and it's just not a sustainable way to live. But I recognize the fact that that practice is just not going to go away, so you kind of have to work with what you've got. A sustainable way to deal with it is to think about it in terms of healthy living. You're committing your life to someone, and you really want to be there for a really long time. And by looking at it from a healthy perspective of I'm going to be as healthy as I can for this person, I think that's a much more sustainable way to think about the wedding diet. I think historically it's always been known to be about procreational sex, so that's why I'm suggesting as one of the alternatives to the cake is just thinking about it being about good sex.
Okay.
Well, if you ever decide to get married, you can certainly create one that you think is your own, but it's up to you. It's really completely subjective. But I just want everyone to understand what this tradition is and where the history to it. So, I don't know. Well, historically, yes, but since that's the whole queer wedding thing is, it's not new, but it has more prominence now. I think that's why it's much more important to focus it on just having sex. They want to have good sex too. The great thing about gay marriage today is that it's really redefining wedding practices. I've had many conversations with a few people who've gotten married in that context, and they're really thinking critically about what they want to do because they want to look traditional, but they also want to honor themselves as best as they can. And that is actually jumping traditional wedding culture into being a little bit more equal than it would on its own. So that's a really good element of impact that it's having. Everyone's familiar with wedding cake. Hopefully at some point they've had it, they've probably seen it on TV. It's really hard to escape it as a tradition. Going into it though, most people don't really know what it's all about and like how heavy the history is. And so for me to break it down and then ask you to participate in it, and outside of a wedding, which is very taboo, it really gets you thinking about like what it is. So I'm kind of drilling the whole point into your head, and next time you go to a wedding or you have an opportunity to sample some cake, you're going to be like, yeah, I'm eating sex. So that was the idea to it.